It all started on a crisp Monday morning when my phone buzzed incessantly, waking me from what had been a rare night of peaceful sleep. As I groggily reached for it, panic set in. My inbox was flooded with messages from clients and readers alike. "Your website is down," they said. I scrambled to open my laptop, heart pounding as I typed in the URL. Sure enough, there it was, a blank page staring back at me. My once thriving tech blog, which I'd poured countless hours into building, had vanished into thin air. The sinking feeling deepened as I tried to pinpoint what went wrong. It wasn't just that the site was gone, it was how unprepared I felt to fix it. Over the past few months, I'd been experimenting with customizing my WordPress setup, thinking I knew enough to get by. But now, faced with this disaster, I realized how little I truly understood about the platform's inner workings. Was it something I did while tweaking the design? Did I accidentally delete critical files? Or worse yet, could malware have infiltrated my system? One thing became painfully clear. I didn't even know where to start looking for answers. This moment marked the beginning of an emotional journey, one that would teach me more than I ever imagined about themes, templates, and resilience in the face of technological failure. After spending hours trying to revive my site without success, frustration gave way to humility. I decided to reach out to Sarah, a fellow tech blogger who always seemed to have her finger on the pulse of everything, WordPress related. When she agreed to hop on a call, I felt a flicker of hope, but also dread. What if she discovered how clueless I really was? During our conversation, Sarah gently probed into what changes I'd made recently. Her questions quickly exposed gaps in my knowledge. "Wait," she said after I mentioned tweaking some code, "were you editing your theme or messing around with individual templates?" Her words hit like a ton of bricks. Theme? Template? Weren't they the same thing? Apparently not, according to Sarah. She explained that a WordPress theme controls the overall look and functionality of your entire site. It's like the blueprint dictating elements such as layout, typography, and color schemes. Templates, on the other hand, are specific files within a theme responsible for rendering particular parts of your site, like single posts or archive pages. Suddenly, pieces of the puzzle clicked into place. All those late-night tweaks I thought were harmless might have overwritten essential template files, causing chaos in my site's structure. For the first time, I grasped the gravity of my mistake and resolved to dig deeper into understanding these foundational concepts before attempting any further fixes. With Sarah's advice echoing in my mind, I dove headfirst into research mode. If I wanted to reclaim my website and my dignity, I needed to understand the difference between WordPress themes and templates inside and out. I scoured articles, watched tutorials, and joined online forums dedicated to WordPress troubleshooting. Each resource added another layer of clarity, but none resonated quite like a YouTube video titled "Themes versus Templates: Why You Need to Know the Difference." The creator broke down the distinction using simple analogies. He likened a theme to the exterior shell of a house, the walls, roof, windows, and doors defining its appearance. Meanwhile, templates were described as rooms within that house, each serving a unique purpose while adhering to the overarching architectural style. This metaphor finally made sense to me. Themes provided consistency across the entire site, ensuring cohesion no matter which page visitors landed on. Templates, however, allowed for flexibility, enabling customization tailored to different types of content. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I began piecing together a plan to rebuild my site, not just restoring it, but making it stronger than ever before. Armed with theoretical understanding, I still felt overwhelmed by the practical steps ahead. Could I actually implement what I'd learned? To ease my nerves, I turned to WordPress communities on Reddit and Facebook, seeking guidance from others who'd walked this path. Their stories inspired me. Many shared similar experiences of losing their sites due to rookie mistakes, but emphasized how much they grew through the process. One user suggested starting fresh with a child theme, a safe way to experiment without risking the parent theme's integrity. Another recommended backing up my database regularly to prevent future disasters. These tips reassured me that recovery was possible. Slowly but surely, I regained confidence, realizing that every expert was once a beginner too. With renewed determination, I installed a staging environment to practice safely, knowing that failure here wouldn't mean public embarrassment. This chapter taught me that growth often comes from discomfort, and embracing vulnerability is key to mastering new skills. As I delved deeper into rebuilding my site, I couldn't stop thinking about the concept of child themes. It sounded almost too good to be true, a way to customize my site without risking irreversible damage. But as I explored further, I realized this wasn't just a safety net. It was a best practice embraced by seasoned developers worldwide. A child theme inherits all the functionality and design elements of its parent theme, but allows you to make modifications in a separate, isolated environment. This means that even if something goes wrong in your child theme, the original files remain untouched. I decided to give it a try, starting with a popular free theme called Astra. Following step-by-step tutorials, I created a child theme folder and added the necessary CSS and PHP files. At first, it felt daunting. Editing code always does when you're not entirely comfortable, but each small success boosted my confidence. For instance, changing the header color or tweaking font sizes became exhilarating rather than terrifying. More importantly, knowing that these changes wouldn't break my entire site gave me peace of mind. By the end of this process, I understood why experts swear by child themes. They strike the perfect balance between creativity and caution. With my newfound appreciation for themes, I shifted focus to templates, the backbone of every WordPress page. While themes define the overall aesthetic, templates handle the nitty-gritty details of how individual pages are structured. To better grasp their role, I opened my themes file directory and examined the various template files: single, PHP for blog posts, page.php for static pages, and archive, PHP for category listings. Each file contained snippets of code dictating layout and behavior, giving me precise control over different sections of my site. This revelation transformed how I approached customization. Instead of blindly altering random files, as I had done before, I now knew exactly which template to edit for specific results. For example, when I wanted to add a call to action button below every blog post, I modified the single.php file. Similarly, adjusting sidebar placement involved tweaking the sidebar.php template. These targeted edits not only improved my site's functionality, but also deepened my understanding of WordPress architecture. Templates weren't just technical components. They were opportunities to refine user experience and align my site with my vision. Reflecting on my journey so far, I couldn't help but cringe at my earlier blunders. Back then, I treated WordPress like a black box, assuming that copying snippets of code from forums would magically solve my problems. Spoiler alert, it didn't. In fact, those reckless experiments likely contributed to my site's collapse. Now, armed with proper knowledge, I saw how avoidable those mistakes had been. For instance, one major error was directly editing core theme files instead of using a child theme. Any updates to the parent theme would have overwritten my changes, leaving me vulnerable to inconsistencies. Another misstep was confusing templates with plugins. I once installed a plugin hoping it would redesign my homepage, only to realize later that such tasks required template-level adjustments. These lessons underscored the importance of foundational learning. Rather than rushing to implement flashy features, I now prioritized mastering the basics. After all, a sturdy foundation ensures long-term stability, a principle applicable both in web development and life itself. One of the most unexpected blessings during this ordeal was discovering the vibrant WordPress community. From forums like Stack Overflow to Facebook groups filled with passionate users, there seemed to be no shortage of people eager to help. Initially hesitant to ask questions, fearing judgment, I soon realized that everyone starts somewhere. When I posted about my struggles distinguishing between themes and templates, responses poured in, offering encouragement alongside practical advice. What struck me most was the generosity of experienced developers who took time to explain complex concepts in simple terms. One mentor even walked me through debugging my staging site via Zoom, patiently guiding me as I navigated unfamiliar territory. These interactions reminded me that technology isn't just about coding, it's about connection. Whether troubleshooting, errors, or brainstorming ideas, collaboration enriches the learning experience. Inspired by their kindness, I vowed to pay it forward someday, helping others navigate their own WordPress journeys. Months of hard work culminated in the launch of my revamped website. Gone was the clunky, error-prone version I'd started with. In its place stood a sleek, polished platform reflecting everything I'd learned. The new design leveraged a robust child theme, ensuring future updates wouldn't disrupt customizations. Meanwhile, carefully optimized templates allowed seamless navigation and enhanced readability. But beyond aesthetics, the relaunch symbolized personal growth. I'd gone from feeling defeated and overwhelmed to empowered and confident. Visitors noticed the difference too, praising the site's improved usability and visual appeal. More importantly, traffic metrics soared, validating my efforts. Yet, the real victory lay in overcoming self-doubt. Every line of code I wrote reinforced my belief that perseverance pays off. As I celebrated this milestone, I reflected on how far I'd come, not just technically, but emotionally. Failure had been my greatest teacher, pushing me to rise stronger than ever. Determined to prevent others from enduring similar hardships, I decided to share my story through a YouTube video titled, "I Lost My Website Because I Didn't Know. The Difference Between a WordPress Theme and Template. Here's How I Fixed It." Filming the video felt cathartic, allowing me to distill months of trial and error into actionable insights. I broke down key distinctions between themes and templates, offered tips for safe customization, and highlighted resources that helped me along the way. The response was overwhelming. Viewers from across the US and Europe thanked me for demystifying a topic they'd struggled with themselves. Some admitted they'd made the same mistakes, while others praised the emotional honesty woven throughout the narrative. Knowing my experience resonated with so many reaffirmed my mission to educate and inspire. Looking ahead, I planned to create more content addressing common WordPress challenges, fostering a supportive community where beginners could thrive.